Brr, it's a cold day today, raining right now. I made it into the barn. A little sluggish today, getting out of bed. I had two horses to go with. I wanted to gallop Chicago Hall and see how he felt, and I wanted to train our girl, Jerry's girl, in preparation of this weekend's race. All went well. Chicago Hall, I'd said to Jason after, I thought he was a little, much like I felt this morning, a little sluggish this morning. Now, is he a little bit sick? Or, quite frankly, you know, when I look at Chicago Hall, on paper and knowing the horse for what he is and what I believe he should be, he's underperforming right now. And he still only has 2 wins, I think, 2 wins, something like that. And it's the type of horse that'll probably do us really, really good work all winter long. It might be worth just giving him 3 weeks off right now and letting him relax. As I said, when you go to gallop the horses, I want to see them aggressive. I want to see them kind of running through the bridle and having fun. But what I saw today was a horse that went out and did his work well. Felt like he could have done it a little better. That's not a dig on him. It's a long year for these 3-year-olds. And, you know, we talk about it all the time. When you're chasing speed all year long, you know, getting up and winning one race. He won at 53-3, but chasing and chasing and chasing all the time, it really wears on you and beats you down. And I know he's a better horse than what we're seeing right now. I come off the track and I'm telling Jason, he goes, well, he didn't get in yet. Maybe just leave him alone. And it worked out perfect because as I'm seeing this and saying, well, now we need a horse to fit that Nalmerza 2 up to 4. I found a Nalmerza 4 that actually fit the bill very, very well for us. You know, Indiana's an odd place to fish, so to speak. They don't have, the structure of Indiana is different. You can have stake horses. If you don't have a stake horse, you virtually have a claimer. There's not a lot. The middle conditions are tough. Claimers don't go for a lot of money. And once you get after that non-winners of 4 line, non-winners of 4, when you win that 4th race, the pool gets really deep, really quick. Now, with Indiana shutting down in the near future for the winter, as they generally do, Dayton isn't as helpful. 1, it's tough, and 2, that's Ohio owned and bred first and foremost, so it's really tough to get in. Which means there's generally some bargains to be had coming out of Indiana. Now, they have to be able to do, but there's some bargains to be had. Now today, as I told you guys in a video this morning, I'm looking at a number of horses over the next few days on gate. Horses that could really fit the bill with what we're trying to do and accomplish. Now, this isn't Harrisburg. There's some heavy hitters in Harrisburg, and yes, I will open the dialogue soon enough about those horses. We have the buckets going up today for Harrisburg. But today, we also had real help. So I have a number of things I'm trying to do. Put together some racehorse money for significant purchases in Harrisburg. Put together the bucket purchases for Harrisburg also. And then also, fill the burn up, especially when we have horse like Chicago Hall, which is almost, you look at him right now, if you look at his lines right now, you have to look at his last few and say, what the hell happened here? I think he's just a little tired, a little worn out. So we need to be able to cycle those horses out, especially the ones that we want to keep. You know, I have ongoing conversations with people, my partners all the time, about Foxy Seaside. Well, maybe she should go to Southern Ohio. Maybe she should go back to Mohawk. She's going to do what she can do right now. And if it turns out she's a little tired again, there's a filly that I think her and Gorgeous Package, they possess the speed to be better horses, but you have to have a place to race them. I was extremely disappointed when I looked at the entries for Friday and saw Gorgeous Package in the Nalmerza 9,000. If they're not going to fill a class that she can race in over there, especially after they told me they would, well, she will not be there long and she will not return. I want to see her race there, but not at all costs. Not to race her over her head and get her head beat in. That's not going to happen. So we need to find horses that can get in regularly in the class they belong. We need to have horses that can make that immediate impact that we're purchasing right now. or horses that will consistently do well. A horse like Winter Soldier last night. Now, I guess I should have started this video with last night. You're gonna have to wait a couple of minutes because I'm introducing a horse we just purchased. Paid $13,600. Remember, this falls under a lot of these horses coming out of Indiana, and maybe. Listen, I'll say it because I think it is. Horse was a bargain. I had called the owner to say, hey, where do you want this money wired? He's like, oh, he sold already, did he? Yeah. Well, what did he bring? This is an Amish gentleman. He seems like a very nice man. I said, well, sir, he brought 13.6. Oh. Well, I think you got yourself a good buy there. And he's not a slam dunk, but I mean, most of his money's been made in his last 5 or 6. So the horse is on a heater right now, as we like to say. A winner in 57 last quarter and 28-1, 4 back. Third, 57-2, 27-1, 3 back. A winner, 57-4, 28-1, 2 back. Moves up into the non-winners of 3, which is a TMR rating. So this looks like a mixed bag of horses. Goes off at 3-1, coming off 2 wins in his last 3, and ends up first over, finishes 4th, 57-1, 29-2 on the end of it. 4 wins, 31,000 made. This horse fits in Elmer's a 4x7 quite handily. And then again, you have a look. Once you get to that 7 mark, you have a look at what's next. Is the horse able to race in Dayton? Is the horse able to race in Miami Valley? If not, are there classes elsewhere? Is there a condition claimer at Mohawk? Again, with that 31,000 level, you got a 54, 55 trotter in the winter, possibly, potentially, maybe. Then that horse could do well at Mohawk. Now, I should walk that back. There's nothing on his lines that show 54, 55. He shows one line in 56 and 3, chasing speed. But again, a lightly raced trotter. This is a help is on the way, by the way. So we have purchased the horse named Real Help. He's going to, well, hopefully he'll give us some real help. I think he'll help strengthen the bottom end and, of course, maybe snap right into that class where Chicago Hall was going to be racing at least one above with a fresher set of legs and lungs than maybe Chicago Hall has currently. And that's not a dig on Chicago Hall. I just think so much of the horse and know he's such a better horse. When I feel him kind of dogging it a bit training, I think to myself, well, maybe he needs a little bit of a rest. So Real Help will slide right into that slot pretty easily. He'll be racing next week. The horse raced last night. 57-1, 29-2 on the end of it last night. So the horse is ready to go right now. We'll get him paid for, we'll get him shipped down here, and he'll be in to go next week. That will be the plan for Real Help. So that's how Chicago trained. That's how I dealt with it. Brought a new horse in to take his spot for the time being. And then when it comes to Cherry's Girl, she trained great. Trained really, really good, actually. Man, she's turned into a nice filly. Turned into a really, really nice filly to do anything with, and I like what I see in Cherry's Girl. So excited to see her final race of the season, which will be the Virginia Breeders' Fund final at Shenandoah Downs this coming Sunday. That will be the plan for Cherry's Girl. Now, last night we raced 2 horses. We raced, yesterday we had a good day, a great mile from Degas. We talked about a decent mile from Arrowhead, Hanover. I guess in hindsight I should have expected much more with an open bridle and ear hood on and an 8-hole. As I said, likely next week Brett or Kane Kaufman will drive the horse. I believe we raced the horse yesterday in Kane Kaufman's bike, and that was the biggest thing. It wasn't that somebody said, well, Anthony, is there really a need for you to be at 3 racetracks in one day? Is there really a need for you to drive to Pennsylvania, then Dayton, and then Northfield, and you wake up tired? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I had a nice sleep last night. In fact, one of the best sleeps I've had in a while. And yes, it was important, because I knew that Arrowhead Hanover felt fine. Now, if I had to watch that race on TV, I'd be like, wow, are his hobbles okay? Is shoeing okay? Does he need vet work? What just happened because he seemed flat? He seemed flat because I raced him in an open bridle, and I took him back. He has never once in his entire life on planet Earth raced well from last or off the pace. Not one time. And I told Kane, hobbles are perfect in this bike, which is his bike. I said the hobbles were perfect. I can tell you right now, hole 4 in the bike, hole 9 in the hobbles. Perfect. Can't leave, but you can let him trot out of there. If you get him to the front, we get him closed up, have him sharp, get that hood off him, put earplugs back on him, I think it's going to be game on next week. So it was important that I made my way to Dayton yesterday. It was very important that I made my way to the Meadows. Not just to get the 2 horses qualified, not just to get a feel for Captain Incredible and a feel for Raging Hanover. Was he better? Yes, he was. But also to train the newest horse, Sparkling Volo. This is also the time of year. It's busy. Sales season is ending. We're getting the babies broken going. But we're also bringing new horses in. Like Real Help, like Sparkling Volo, and others to come. It's almost like off-season trades. We haven't got that big ticket item yet. Right? We haven't traded for... I'm not going to make a baseball reference. I'm going to leave it alone. We haven't made that big ticket item purchase yet. We will in Harrisburg. I'm certain of that. Or before, for that matter. I tried to the other day. I was bidding on a horse named Joel and the Jets. You guys saw that? Dr. Ian Moore's horse. Not a place I love shopping. Dr. Ian Moore? He's not just a vet. He can have a doctorate in horse racing. That is one sharp man. Not a place you love to shop, but at the right price, I thought, even if we just keep him at par, he's worth this. And once I got beyond that price, I stopped bidding. And we have a couple more of those horses coming up this week also. So we got the qualifiers and the training mile out of the way yesterday for Captain Incredible. For Raging Hanover, got the training mile out of the way for Sparkling Volo. I was very happy as I left the Meadows. I was happy as I left Dayton. I mean, I wasn't happy in the sense that I think Arrowhead Hanover can do better, but he's pretty sharp. Takes pretty good care of himself. As I said to Kane, hobbles are perfect, horse is good. Close him up. We'll put the earplugs on him. He'll be ready to rock for you next week. And then to come to Northfield, it rained all night. Poured for 2 hours, and then just as I got there, it stopped raining. So I was muddy, somewhat, but not wet. Poor Blue Ventura. You know what happens when the rain comes that hard? Track gets very hard, and you could tell. You could tell last night that he was hurting. Feet were his old paws were stinging him coming off the car last night. And when you get stung to the quarter with him, he's not a deep horse. He's a very likable horse, but he's not the type of horse that you can sting 27. And the nail in the coffin was, I knew it was Aaron coming. It was Aaron or Johnny Sioka coming. I was going to let either one of them go easily. There was zero fight going to be put up by me. But when they did clear to the front, he took off, and that kind of sucked the wind out of the sails of Blue Ventura. Had he left and just kind of cleared to the front easily, and I was able to kind of bump up on his helmet, I think we would have been fine. But 53-4 on a hard track on a rainy night was not the surface for Blue Ventura, and he raced as good as he could. And the other horse raced great too. I got a lot more respect for him. I put him right on the gate. He's really turned into a nice horse to drive. You know, I heard all these stories about his gait, and he makes breaks, and he gets hot, and he can't control him. He is an absolute sweetheart to drive. Put his nose right on the car, let him trot out of there, and he raced good. It was a big mile last night from that trotter, Corey Kreisers. It was windy. It was inclement, is the word I'm looking for. It was not a nice night at all. For him to finish second in the Open, big mile from him. I was pleased with him. Happy with the entire day, top to bottom. Not one complaint. Got up today, trained Cherry's Girl, trained awesome. Galloped Chicago Hall in 59. Just think he needs to hit the grass for a little bit. And in doing so, replaced his spot in the batting order, so to speak. Now, I'm not going to replace Chicago Hall with a $13,000 Indiana bred. I don't have to, because Chicago Hall is kind of flat right now. I only have to replace his spot in the order right now with a $13,000 Indiana bred. And by the looks of this horse with his gait, no hobbles, looks like he's got lots of upside, and he's moving forward. You look at his bottom chart lines, there's some X's and some so-so miles, a couple of trainer changes, and then Mr. Ronnie Roberts gets the horse. Not really familiar with Mr. Roberts. Clearly the guy knows what he's doing. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Race good every start. Every start for him. Coming off the horse's best miles of his life were in his last 5 starts. So ran out of classes 2 weeks ago in Indiana, obviously, when he won the non-winners at 2. 15 claimer, non-winners at 2, but whatever. Raced him in the TMR 73 rating last night, which is probably a mixed bag of horses. Goes off 3-1, but ends up 4th B2 in a first over bid. The horse is going to do exactly what we need him to do as soon as we get him here. So a new purchase for our stable. The horse's name is Real Help. He'll be one of quite a few, I think, over the next 3 weeks. The Harrisburg Buckets will be up today. We'll start discussing the Harrisburg race horses soon enough. But I am happy, except for the weather, I am happy with the way things have gone the last 2 days in the barn. So hope you're happy also. We'll talk to you soon. I don't know if we have any horses racing today, do we? Let me look. We have a little boo here. No. Our next horse race looks like money, 9-2 out of the 8 hole. And again, Tyler Angus is going to get the drive. I have to go over to Ontario, take care of some stuff tomorrow. My father is coming into town for the Breeders' Crown. Thought I was going to be also. But I am going to pivot and head to Virginia for the weekend with the kids and Amy. Never been to Virginia. We're going to try and take in some of the sights. And kids are getting, everybody says, pay attention to the kids when they're young because they grow up so quick. And they are. They're growing up now. Ava is not the same, 14-year-old girl she was when she was 8. And Ollie the same. They don't feel the same way about the things that we do. And that's just normal growing up stuff. But when it comes to our family still getting an opportunity to go away for the weekend, whether it be to Virginia or wherever, it's just nice to go away once in a while as a family, and to know that we're coming back to, or before we come back, Charity's girl is going to be racing in a place she should do some good. And then we have Degas, who's going to race for 100 next week in Kentucky. Not only is she going to race for 100, but she went from being, I don't know if she belongs, let's just see, to, with the right trip, this filly can get them. So I'm excited. I'm excited about Degas on Tuesday. I had told Eric, I think the fair thing to do would be to list Dave Miller first, and he has other drives. If he decides he wants to drive Degas, perfect. If he does not, then fine. I'll make my way to Corbin, Kentucky. We are going to bring Neptune back. It never always works right when you move a horse. The problem I have with Neptune is I don't know if he can do in the Open too. So first off, they have to let him drop out of the Open. Are they going to? I would hope so. I don't know what he can do in the Open 2. The class below that he may not get to until the meet is closed. It's only another 2-3 week meet. So pump the brakes. Let's move it. Let's move the horse back and see what he can get into at the Meadows. I meant well sending him there. It just did not work out. But let's not throw good money after bad trying to prove me right when I know that I'm probably wrong. So get the horse back. We're going to bring Steady Volo back up out of the field in Kentucky, and we're going to bring Neptune back. They're both going to come back Friday. Neptune will be entered next week back at the Meadows. We'll see what we can get done with him. Rock Shining Star, Scott actually thought was decent. I know he finished 8th, but he thought he was decent. If he can race in a softer class of any kind, or at least draw favorably, I think we'll have a shot with him this week. Zena Kemp, I left it up to Eric to enter her or not. She does have to move up a class. If we turn her out, we turn her out. If we race her once more, I'm fine with that. I was really pleased with the way she raced last week. And then, of course, Degas, Spitfire Overseas, both those horses did well. But the Corbin meet is coming to an end. So, again, we're shutting down Kentucky, right? Our Kentucky base will be dispersing. We'll be bringing those horses back up to various places. Spitfire will either go to the Meadows or he can go to Ontario. We'll see which way we're going with him. With respect to Degas Field, Zena Kemp Field, and then Rock Shining Star will likely make his way back up to the Meadows. So there you have it. A fairly in-depth video today. Welcoming our newest horse, Real Help. Those shares are up right now. You may have noticed. If not, I would not take too long purchasing them. Looks like a horse that's going to fit in exactly where we need him to right away. So there you have it. All done. Everything taken care of for today with respect to the burn. We don't have any racing tonight, at least from the calendar I'm looking at. Tomorrow we have Looks Like Money. I'm going to make my way over to Ontario and pick up my father, go to dinner with him and John, talk about some stuff, and then head back over. I believe I'm going to head to Virginia on Friday afternoon. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your rainy Wednesday. I will talk to you all very soon.